You ever see something so wild, so unexpected, that if there wasn't video proof, no one would believe it actually happened? Well, that's exactly what we've got here. From a wife pulling an insane move to drag her husband out of the bar, to fashion choices that'll make you question reality, these are the moments that had to be caught on camera to be real. So before we dive in, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get into the madness. So Balenciaga is at it again. After dropping fashion bombs like pre-destroyed sneakers and a literal trash bag purse, now they've hit us with something even more ridiculous. A bracelet that looks exactly like packing tape. No joke. It's a thin strip of what seems like office tape slapped with the Balenciaga name, and with that comes the price tag. If you want to flex with a roll of designer duct tape around your wrist, it'll cost you over $3,000. There's actually a theory floating around that Balenciaga does this on purpose, creating absurd products just to stir up controversy and get people talking. And hey, it's working. But seriously, who looks at that and thinks, yeah, that's a vibe? Here's a tip. If your drinking buddy is too close to your girl, be on alert. So this dude was out late at a bar, enjoying a few too many beers when his wife showed up to bring him home. Normal, right? But then bam! His so-called friend straight up threw him out the window to her like he was handing off a package. Maybe the guy was already being that annoying drunk nobody wants around. Maybe the friend was just doing society a favor. Either way, man's friendship ended real quick. But who knows? Maybe the wife just gained a new bestie in the process. Think animals don't know what they're doing? Think again. This dog thought he was being slick. He moved the camera out of the way just to sneak a bite of food. Genius, right? But he didn't count on one thing: the family cat watching everything like a little furry narc. While the dog was halfway to snack heaven, the cat pulled a move that exposed the whole operation. Food on the floor, busted wide open, and of course, the camera caught the whole thing thanks to the feline whistleblower. Lesson of the day: if you're planning a crime, don't trust a cat to be your accomplice. They're way too chaotic neutral for that. Sometimes all it takes is 2 seconds of distraction for everything to go downhill, literally. This guy was filming his drone with his phone while standing on a steep slope. Then he made a rookie mistake. He placed his phone on the edge and that thing slid down like it was on a water slide. Meanwhile, the drone was flying off into the distance, following its flight path like nothing happened. Now imagine the guy standing there, torn between saving his iPhone or not face planting down the hill. Judging by the fact we have this footage, he probably survived. The drone? Maybe. The phone? Most likely ended up in phone heaven. You and your friends finally save up to buy a drone. Big moment. You launch it into the air for the very first time, and it's all over in less than 5 seconds. They remembered to check the skies, sure, but they forgot about what was happening on the ground. The drone didn't get hit by a bird or a tree. No, a whole truck ran over it. Talk about a short career. That drone got promoted to paperweight faster than you can say refund. And now those guys are back to watching birds manually again. Roller coasters are dangerous, but not just for the riders. This poor guy was just trying to film a cool video near a ride, probably hoping to post it for a few likes. Instead, he got smacked in the head by a rogue sneaker flying at full speed from above. Apparently, someone on the ride didn't tie their shoelaces tight enough, and that shoe decided to go full missile mode. The dude ended up with a bump on his forehead and possibly a viral clip. What are the odds though? Getting hit in the head by a flying shoe at a theme park has to be like winning the anti-lottery. And as for the owner of the shoe, did they go home barefoot or spend the rest of the day hobbling through the park? You ever play a dumb game and instantly regret it? These students were messing around, turning their classroom into a fake pool table with paper balls and a broomstick as a cue. Funny at first, until one shot went south. Literally. Instead of hitting the paper ball, the guy hit one of his friends square in the family jewels. The scream? Legendary. Every guy who sees that clip can feel the pain through the screen. That poor soul probably didn't sign up for free birth control, but here we are. So the family was having a good time, celebrating someone's birthday, candles lit, everyone singing. When out of nowhere, the family dog decided to crash the party in the most literal way. Maybe he got spooked by the sparklers on the cake, or maybe he just thought the fire meant danger. But either way, the pup jumped in to help and ended up flipping the entire cake right off the table. Instant party wipeout. Some folks stood there in total shock while others cracked up laughing. And guess what? The dog, who wasn't even getting any cake in the first place, ended up with the whole dessert just for himself. Honestly, he had a better time than the birthday boy. Pressing sugarcane by hand is no joke. It's sweaty, exhausting, and takes teamwork. So when these guys were trying to squeeze some fresh sugarcane juice, they were already struggling, and then, boom, disaster. One genius decides to get involved and somehow manages to spill about 90% of the juice on the ground, just gone, like liquid gold being poured straight into the dirt. The faces of the guys helping? Pure betrayal. This guy's probably that cousin from the city who visits the countryside once a year and tries to help with farm chores, only to ruin everything. Someone get him a juice box and send him back to his air-conditioned apartment. You know those Turkish ice cream vendors who love messing with tourists, twisting the cone, flipping it away, teasing them for 5 straight minutes? Well, sometimes karma shows up quicker than expected. This guy waited so long for his cone, you could see the frustration building, and then, bam, the whole scoop of ice cream falls off and hits the floor before he even gets a bite. People around him burst out laughing, and he just stood there with that face like, did this really happen? And I swear, the only reason he didn't put the ice cream back in the freezer was because too many people were watching. This monkey wasn't just monkeying around, he was out for destruction. A family had a nice setup on their patio, glass table and all. But this little guy shows up, climbs the railing, and executes a plan like a furry little wrecking ball. Instead of pulling the table toward him like a normal troublemaker, he shoves it forward. The glass top shatters into 1,000 pieces, and if you look closely, the chairs were already knocked over, like the monkey had been warming up for his big finale. This wasn't random. This was calculated chaos, and honestly, that monkey's got villain origin story energy. There's a Brazilian tradition where people make offerings to Imanja, the goddess of the sea. Usually it's flowers or candles, but this guy gave her a whole bottle of liquor, accidentally. He was filming a cool clip by the ocean, trying to show off his drink, when a wave came out of nowhere and snatched the bottle right out of his hands. Gone. Just like that. He stood there in shock while the sea claimed its prize. Maybe Iemenja was thirsty that day. Who knows? Either way, he had to play it off like it was part of the plan. Oh yeah, that was totally an offering. Brazilian influencer Luara Costa is all about that fit life, but one of her workout clips backfired big time online.
Corre, Sil. Olha lá ela. Ela vai fazendo cardiozinho enquanto ela leva a Manuela, gente. No pet tem, tá?
In the video, she's jogging with her stroller, but what really caught people's attention was the nanny sprinting behind her, also pushing a stroller, trying to keep up. Luara praised it like she was being a great role model, but the internet wasn't having it. Commenters went in, saying it looked like she was making her nanny exercise against her will. Luara later posted a video saying it was all spontaneous, and that the nanny joined because she wanted to, but by then, the damage was done. The bad boss label stuck harder than her abs. When you're broke and desperate, you'll say anything to convince your mom to buy what you want. This guy wanted a drink, and we're not talking Gatorade.
Que foi?
Que óleo é esse que tu mandou eu comprar de cento e poucos reais pra tua moto?
É óleo de motor, mãe.
Isso aqui é óleo de motor,
É óleo de
rapaz?
motor, é óleo de motor pra minha moto. Óleo de motor. Obrigado, tá?
He holds up a bottle of alcohol, trying to pass it off as engine oil for his motorcycle. And the craziest part, his mom actually bought it. Even funnier, the bottle said apple flavor. Yeah, nothing like a fresh motor oil with fruity undertones. Hopefully he didn't try to drink and ride, because that's one way to crash both your bike and your dignity. This guy was chilling on his surfboard, enjoying the ocean vibes, when a surprise guest joined him, a sea snake. And not just any snake, one of the most venomous species out there.
He's just come straight at me again. Oh, how intimidating is this? Yes! Look at this! The big old dog. Please, hey.
Now here's where it gets weird. Instead of freaking out and paddling for dear life, the guy just watches it, calm as ever, maybe too calm.
Hey. Come on, mate. That is so sick. Woo.
Lucky for him, sea snakes aren't aggressive by nature. They'll usually swim off unless they feel super threatened. But had it decided to bite, that dude would have gone from beach bum to obituary in minutes. And out in the open sea, there's no quick trip to the ER. No clue how this car ended up in the lake, but the rescue mission was next level creative. Instead of calling a tow truck, they used a heavy-duty rope and started pulling it out like it was a giant fish on the line. And it actually worked. The car floated just enough for them to drag it back to shore with a few extra hands. Who needs roadside assistance when you've got fishermen built like superheroes? Seriously, someone give that rope brand a sponsorship deal. They just reeled in a whole sedan. Thanks for watching.